Welcome to a new show of the Cloud Conversations. We have here Femke, two
Hi.
Femkes, and Kat.
Hello.
Femke is a Teams engineer, and she works at Wortell in the Netherlands.
Yes.
Hi, Femke.
Hi. Nice to be here.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing. How are you both?
I'm good.
How is your day? Yeah.
I thought I'll jump in because I haven't been on for a while. So this is my first show since maybe the beginning of or the middle of last year. That's so bad. A lot's been going on. So no, yeah, I'm absolutely great. What about you? Am I saying your name right? I'm saying Femke. Is it Femke? Is it Femke?
Yeah, Femke. That's great.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Let me pronounce your name better. So.
It's a typical Dutch name.
It's a very typical Dutch name. Yeah.
Well, you both have it, so yeah, I can assume that it's common name. How are you, Femke? You okay?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, nice day here at the office. So nice to see everyone, and actually nice to see Femke as the first day here. Oh, actually, for me, the first day seeing you here as a colleague. So that's great, actually. Yeah.
Also, you've met in person. This is the first.
We
time
have met in person before.
You have. Okay.
But today's the first day that she's working here.
Oh yeah, it's your first day at your new organization.
Mm-hmm. First day.
Well, not the first day, but the first day I'm seeing here at the office.
I see.
My first month. Yeah, it's my first month.
I was going to say, I thought you joined a little bit, but there we are. Amazing. How is the new job going? I know, sorry, you've got the guest, but
it's great. It's a lot of information, a lot of new faces, but it's a really great company to work for. So I'm really glad to be here.
Oh,
yes. And it's the same company as it's the same company as the other Femke. So we are the Femkes of Wortell.
Yes. You're gonna start a gang.
Yes. You have blonde hair and glasses and coat.
That's it.
Please apply. Yeah.
So all Femkes with glasses and blonde hair
and glasses. Yeah. And you're both wearing black as well. Is that your gang? And I was
so
going to say for the audience as well. So you're in the same room as each other as well. So I can see you're kind of looking at each other because you're in the same room as well. So that's cool. But amazing.
Cool. Yeah.
Wonderful.
So let's start to talk about our guest, Femke. Femke, can you tell us a little bit about your journey, your job? What are you doing?
I'm currently working as a Teams engineer, mostly focused on Teams governance. And what my journey in IT actually started around 5 years ago, I think. So I used to be an interior architect, so that's something different. But when doing interior designs, you also have to do with 3D renderings and stuff. And using 3D rendering, you need hefty PCs. And we had a render farm. And when I was younger, I always liked to be busy with the computers and stuff. So when stuff broke or things didn't go to plan, all the colleagues would ask, can you help me with this? So eventually I think like everyone else, rolled into the IT. And at some point, our IT partner was like, "Hey, Fem, how would you like to come work here?" And I was like, "I don't know. I don't have education for IT. I cannot do this." And they're like, "Okay, fine, just come work here." So that's when I started at the help desk. And a few years later, I'm here at Wortell, and primarily focused on SharePoint Teams, and last year primarily on Teams. So.
Amazing. I can't believe you're an interior designer, interior architect. That was on my list because I saw on your LinkedIn and I was like, what? And I thought that's such a shift. Yeah. So how was that? Because you mentioned that's interesting where it's a similar type of brain. So you're working with computers, you're rendering, you're working with images and how things fit together. You're solving problems, which is very much a Teams governance thing as well. So I can see how you've got the transferable skills would go across. But was it difficult going from one industry into kind of another into tech? What was that transition like?
Well, it's actually very natural. Like I said, I kind of rolled into it. because I was doing the interior thing, and everyone was asking me questions like, "Hey, the printer's not working. Hey, this is not working. Hey, do you know how to fix this?" And at some point, I was like, "You guys need an internal IT person. How about I do that for you?" And then I started communicating more and more with our IT partner, and I learned more. And so when I have an issue I can't fix, I would call them, they would fix it, and then I would ask, "How did you fix that?" And they would be like, is the customer asking, "How did you fix that?" I was like, "Yeah, can you please show me so I can do it again myself in the future?" So it actually went very natural. And if you have an interest in PCs, then it's always a little bit natural. So I always had from when I was little, I was into PCs and building stuff and taking things apart. So yeah, that's nice.
Cool. You also mentioned earlier when we talked about the help desk, it's a funny role that you sometimes have customers that they say, "Oh, I need to talk to the help desk. Do I have the right person over here? Because I have a woman on the other side of the."
That was really funny. Because in Dutch we when I would pick up the phone after a few weeks, my new colleagues were asking, "Hey Femke, why are you always saying speaking?" As in Dutch we always say, "Daar spreekt u mee." And I had to explain. I was like, "Yeah, this is a small company, so all the customers know each other. So even when I called and I got a woman on the phone, I know, hey, all the guys are taken. So I'm speaking some from either finance or planning, not someone from the help desk." So when I started working there and customers called, they got a woman on the phone, they thought, "Hey, this is not the help desk," because the guys must be busy. So I had to constantly explain to them, "Yes, this is the help desk speaking." So all my male colleagues were like, "Why are you saying this the entire time?" I was like, "Yeah, they're confused because I'm the first woman working here." And they were like, "But I have a technical problem." "Yes, I can help you with that." So yeah, that was a thing.
So that happens too often. Yeah, I think it happens too often. Yeah. Sorry, I think there's always with StreamYard, whenever I do it, yeah, there's a delay going on. But I was going to just ask, on that, people are phoning you up asking you, "I need a help desk. I'm the help desk. No, can you pass me to the help desk?" Like that. Let me speak to a man, basically. I wondered what the difference is, because we have that in the UK where you have the bias. I've had men ask me, "Can I ask you a technical question?" Even though I've just done a technical workshop with them. I've just done 2 hours of tech presenting with them. Yeah. And they'll still just not believe that I can do it because I'm a woman. And I wondered in the Netherlands and that kind of area, you also face the same kind of challenges. Is it quite bad in terms of that bias, or not as bad? What do you think in terms of women in tech?
I don't know how you experience it. I don't think it's bad. The funny thing is, I experience it myself. Because when I call Zero here in Nederland, like, "Hey, my router's not working, and I'm not able to fix this myself." So I call Ziggo, the help desk, and I get a woman on the phone. I'm like, "Wait, what?" And I'm like, "Oh my God, Femke, that's biased. You're a woman in tech." And then I'm like, "Oh yeah." So you experience it yourself as well, but yeah, I don't mind. Just like to prove them wrong. So I don't know about other Femke, but yeah.
Sometimes with customers, I have the issue when I'm speaking with them and there is another colleague with me at an appointment, which is sometimes that people ask a question and I want to give the answer. Then they watch to the other person, and I want to give that answer. That's sometimes, but not much. It's just a little things that you think about. Oh, why did this need to be happen? Or is this happening really? Small things. Yeah, but it's going better, I think.
Yeah, then I was more surprised when you solicitate for a new function and they're like, "Oh, are you sure you don't want to be an adoption consultant?" I'm like, I told you, a technical consultant. Yeah, are you sure? Like, yes. Yes. Thank you for double checking though. But so yeah, that's. But I think overall they're quite modern here, so I think we're good.
Yes, we are good here.
Do you think it's
Femke, I
getting
have
better?
a question. Oh, sorry. It's getting better, I think. Yeah.
Go.
Oh, you have a few seconds later. It's. Oh, are you all right, Kate?
The delay's really bad, so I'm gonna just let you, Femke. You.
Okay. Yeah, I have a question.
I'll let you go. I'm gonna shut up.
Okay,
You
great.
talk.
I want to know more about the team's governance, because it's a really big thing that is about Microsoft Teams right now. And of course, we have a great solution here at Wortell about Teams governance. But just can you tell me a little bit more about how you see Teams governance right now, and what people need to do with Teams right now, and what's the best solution for them, or need to check out, or need to find out about Teams governance? A lot of questions in one.
A lot of questions in one.
Yes, just start someone.
Yeah, that is great. You see it change, and I think we all know the basic story. Teams was small, and then the pandemic hit, and then everyone had Teams, and now it's chaos. We see that companies more and more paying attention to the governance side, paying attention to the security side. They're having like enormous environments with massive amounts of teams that aren't governed really well. So we see that the attention for a lot of customers is shifting, like, hey, we need to do something with this, especially now that regulations in place for data, differences between Europe and America, of course, but the regulations are in place, so you need to adhere to some kind of rules. So we see that more and more people are shifting their attention, like, all right, we're using it, and we're using it a lot. So now what? So here at Wortell, we have a solution for customers that we implement, and we take them with us on a journey to explain the tools, see what they have in place, see how they work. Very important, of course, and then create a set environment for them to work in, so that all the teams or sites and groups are compliant with the governance that we have discussed with them, so that actually the end users don't have to think about anything at all. Just actually click and everything is set. And so we try to make it as easy for them. And best practices, it depends so much on the environment, I think. Of course, there are some basics, and I was at Ignite this year, but I think a lot of people saw the session of Gorima, am I saying that correct, about the Teams governance? She had the session in the big room, which was really nice, very informative, and you can still watch that back. And I think in those sessions, it's very much explained also. You're starting with the basics, like what's good and what's not good. Also looking at security, where does compliance come in? What does data protection come in? There's so many ins and outs right now that I think it's good that there's more attention to it, and that more and more people are seeing, like, all right, it's not just a basic chat tool, because even here we still have colleagues that work in some Teams. You can manage that, and I was like, whoa, okay, yeah, you can manage that. There's a lot of things you can manage, and make sure that you're working as safely, but also as easily as possible, because it's never one or the other. It's not always like, oh, it's very workable but not safe, or it's very safe so that it's not workable. You always have to find a concession between the two, like a good mixture, like, all right, it's safe but still workable for end users or admins to have that good balance. I think that's the most important thing to have, is the balance that you create. safe environment versus a good working environment. So yeah, it's
nice.
One of the
there were a lot of
questions
questions.
I have, sorry,
I take them
there's a delay.
So you have a delay, so we wait on her.
Yes, sorry, you need to be like 2 seconds before I can ask my question. So one of the things I was going to ask is, in terms of Teams governance, one question I always get from clients is, should we let people create their own, or should we stop that, or is there another way? What would your suggestion be, or is it kind of a different answer for different types of clients? What would your recommendation be?
Well, currently specifically with our tool, we use a provisioner, and that provisioner has different kind of tastes. Like, depending on the customer, we create a set amount of templates that end users can choose from. So, for example, internal project, external project, internal collaboration, because a lot of the times a project and collaboration have different aspects, and external collaboration, and pop-up team for randomness. And each template gets a specific set of settings with it that come with it. So internal, no guests allowed. So yeah, that's, again, there is not a set rule that we imply. We just like to listen to the customer, like, hey, what do you need? How do you work? How do you work now? How do you would like to work better? And then, so I think that 95% of our customers, end users, are allowed to create their own teams, but via the provisioner with all the templates instead. And I think actually Louise also has a provision genie kind of thing. Powers looks really cool. I haven't actually had the time to look into that, but that's exactly the kind of idea that we will also implement with our customers. So in the end, the end user gets to do their own thing, but with still all the regulations at the back end.
Amazing. Because I think that's the key thing, is governance is about governing, not control. And that's one thing that clients always say to me is, how do we control and lock it down? Well, it's a business tool. It's not an IT tool. So you don't want to turn everything off. What's the point of having it if you're just going to do that? So I think that's a really good point of having that balance, like you mentioned.
Yeah, exactly that balance. And also, kind of eliminating the shadow IT part as well. Because indeed, if you block everything, users are going to find it on the way. You don't want that. and that's going to create other issues.
WhatsApp or something.
Yeah, share them all in a WeTransfer link. You did what? All right. Yeah. So I think it's good to seek out the balance, but also make the IT, like the administrators, understand that I get you want to block everything, but this is not the way in terms. So let them at least have some kind of freedom, even though it's boxed freedom, like and also a possibility is that if you have like loose rules in place, you can also still use third-party applications to enforce some of those rules. Like, for example, if someone changes the name of a team, you're not allowed to do that. We use some backend tooling to revert that change. Or you invited someone that's not allowed to be in here, backend process to kick you out again, like stuff like that. It's also saves a lot of time for IT managers to make it easier to work.
And when you have now Teams Premium, is that also something what you already use or already testing?
Well, we are already testing it. Unfortunately, my own test tenant is still not. I don't have the license yet available, so I'm clicking every day to see it. But we're currently testing that, and also these have some governance tooling as well. I mean, that we take them with us to the customer. Like, hey, we have these new settings. Let's look at the settings. Can you govern them? Do you want to govern them? Yes or no? Stuff like that. But I think the Teams Premium functions are really nice, especially the the call encryption, of course, and you've already tested that, Femke. I'm looking at you. The meeting
Meetings, yeah.
encryptions and stuff like that, which is really nice.
It is. Yeah, the meeting templates are really amazing. It's really nice. You already see them, Kate?
Do you think that it should have been?
Oh.
Yes, I was going to say, sorry. One thing I was going to say, which a few of my colleagues think, is should it be a separate subscription or should it be like an E5 license?
That's a hot topic.
Or, you know, do you think it's worth that additional? Because how much is it? It's like $10 per user, around about there. So
around
is it worth the money, do you think?
Right now, I would say at this point, it's difficult to explain that Outlook meetings do get compliant rules within E5, but Teams meetings don't. You need to get an extra subscription for that. But maybe if they add some more rules, instead of just like the calling inscription is within the Teams license, but meeting encryption is not. So I'm kind of stuck in between right now. Like, right, if for some users in the organization who organize or manage Teams meeting templates or live events and stuff like that, or sensitive subjects like HR or legal, then for sure it's worth the money. But just say, you're like chucking on for all users your organization. At this point, I don't think that's there yet.
Sorry, I kept cutting out there, so I missed a little bit of it, but I think I get the idea of different industries have different regulations and deal with different confidential information. So it's really going to be worth it. You don't want to take that risk. That $10, is going to be worth it for those users. So that's kind of the feeling that we're having as well, where it probably is for those people who actually need it, but it's not necessarily something that you need everybody on. But that's some of the feedback that we have had from customers. Why is it an additional license? So it's interesting to hear
it's hard to explain
your thoughts on it.
Yeah.
And I'll wait for the delay to pass now.
It's sometimes hard to explain. I don't know if Femke has any experience with it with customers, but I'm finding time difficulty explaining, like, hey, this is in E5 and this exact same feature for Teams is not in E5. Yeah.
It is. Sorry, just waiting for Kat.
I'm not saying anything else. The delay is too much.
Okay, it's fine. Peter, you have a lot of work to do. Okay, just maybe we can talk a little bit about. Let's talk about women in tech. Is that a great thing to talk about? How should talk? Sorry, this is not going well, Peter. No,
okay, don't worry, it's scary. It's good. Take two.
Yeah. Okay, let's talk about a bit about women in tech. I think here at Wortell there are a lot of women. I think I see a lot of women over here, but maybe in some functions, in some more admin, or I don't know yet. But what do you see, Femke, in just in the IT companies where you are or where you worked before, or what is your gedachte?
My thoughts on that? Yeah, well, as I say, like in my previous company, I was the first or the second, but at that time, just the only women in a technical function, which I didn't have any problems with, because I was fine. I just, if you like to work in whatever kind of field, then I think you should just do it. despite any gender roles. Or because actually in my previous line of work, I also had to deal with project planning, which is on building sites, which is also not very commonly seeing women on a building site. So I was already used to it.
It is, yeah.
And I think here at Wortell, they're really trying to diversitize, and we also have a diversity team, an inclusion team that really focuses on the issues within either women or other minority groups that are actively joining and are free to do anything that they want, actually. So I think that you see it's a lot more, and I think it's going in the right direction.
Great. Yeah. I saw a picture of you at the event at Ignite, and there you was I think the only woman with a group of men at the event. What was your experience there?
Well, that kind of made me laugh because from here, joining with the team from specifically Wortell, I was the only woman who applied to go to Ignite, and then we had a tour that was actually kind of organized, and multiple companies from the Netherlands joined together, and we visited the campus. And I was the only woman there, a group of 20 men, I believe. So again, I don't really have issues with that, but I do see that and understand that other people might have issues with that, and would see it as a blockade. I like being with IT, but I don't want to be the only woman here. It's I guess so. I'm trying to focus also more on getting women to join tech, despite whether you're comfortable or not. You're good. You're welcome. You're good. You'll be fine. So
great.
Yeah. And of course, everyone experiences that differently, and having a better understanding of how other people, especially women, feel about that. Having the respect for, right? Someone might feel different than you about having to work in a primarily male-dominated field. That's creates a lot of space, and also a positive talking space for it, I think.
Yeah, it is. It is. It's great that you are there, was there, and had that experience. Really great.
It was cool this year. I haven't been before. I only know it from the stories. So being able to be there in person this year was really nice. Yeah, it was really nice.
So we have a question from Kat. She's chatting it. She's asking, what can people do to help women in tech?
Well, I think looking at you, Femke, you have a blog, you have set up a community for women in tech with teams and talking groups, and you organize evenings with knowledge sessions or sessions with how to present yourself and stuff like that. I think that's very important. And I think also talking, a friend of mine is like, yeah, my friend is thinking about joining in IT. And I'm like, yeah, go. Just give her
helping.
Yeah, give her a call. You come by at the office and, join us for a day to see what we do and how fun it is and stuff like that. So, I think talking about it openly, but also providing a community for it, where they can safely land, I think that's a really good start. So
cool. And just another question that is spinning in my head. It's another topic, I think. But when you say, how is your workday? How does your workday looks like? What is your day? Can you tell me, to be a Teams engineer, what it's be like? How it's be to be a Teams engineer?
Are currently between two functions. So I focus on Teams governance via the product we push to our customers. So I help them with the questions that they have about servers. We help implement the servers. We have workshops with them to determine their governance. So I think 40% of my work revolves around the team's governance tooling and services we provide for customers. And the other 60% right now is still helping them with support. So advanced team support, or customers that don't have a Teams governance product in place still have governance questions. Like, hey, I want to have this app. Like, is this okay? What should I do? Or, hey, these are new functions. Or, hey, this is not working for me. Stuff like that. So my week primarily consists of helping customers with governance questions, issues that they are having with current Teams tooling, and also updating, because that's also part of our solution, is that we update the customers each month with all the new Microsoft Teams updates, Touch, Teams, and also SharePoint, sometimes OneDrive. So I have those meetings with customers as well, like, hey, these are the new updates this month, and we need to make a new decision about this or these new settings, like example, the delete chat function, stuff like that. That has a big impact on the governance. Like, you want to enable it or disable it. Please be aware that if you enable this function, that data retention, are you compliant, etc., etc. Do you have a solution in place for data retention? So these kind of discussions we are having with the customers also. So also on a bi-weekly basis. That's part of my day. So
cool. Sounds really cool. It's just giving a training or having a discussion with your customer, and also helping and get the problem done or things like that. And also thinking about the other customers. So what's happening here? Maybe it's also happening there. We can help them also. It sounds really great. Oh, what's your favorite Teams feature?
The mute button. No, I was kidding. What's my favorite Teams feature? Oh boy, there are
emojis.
Well, for you, emojis. And for me, that will be GIFs, actually, because I'm a big GIF user. So I like to put in GIFs or GIFs or tomato. So I think that, yeah. But I think it's not one favorite feature. The combination of features that make the product really nice. So it's a bit of a cliche, I think, but it's either GIFs or the package combined. I also saw that. Oh, look, continue.
Just finding out something now. Okay.
I saw something really cool. That was yesterday. We all know the no hello code, right? I saw the discussion yesterday on Twitter, and I was just looking up who should build a response flow that if you say hello, that you get them.
Yeah, I saw it. Yeah, it was that's really nice.
I thought that was really cool. I was like, I want that because I need that. That was a great way. I'll have to see those type of updates and funny featurettes on Twitter. I love that.
Yeah, that's great. It's really funny. I really love it that some people just finding out or thinking about that and make that, and then so you think, okay, why are you thinking about this? Why are you doing this? This is genius. It's funny. Yeah,
I should have thought of that.
Yeah. Okay. And what are the things that you want to work on in a few months, or I know you did some how do you say, you did some masterclass, I think, of how is that going? And
I know what you mean. Yeah, that one. Women Rising, actually, that's still running. That's a program actually sponsored also by Microsoft to take women on their journey in their career and to evolve and get some pictures clear, and
It's already
really-
started, right?
Yeah, it started last year, and it runs until March, April.
Great.
I think. Yeah, so that's still running. So a lot of homework from that, and a lot of thinking about like what you want with your career, topics about diverse leadership and stuff like that. They all come to. So yeah, also busy with that. Yeah, that's also part of it.
Yeah, we can share some links later. Yeah, that's cool.
Definitely share the links so everyone can see that. As I would ever want, like, especially women in tech, joining those kind of programs is really nice. You meet a lot of like-minded people. Also find a lot of support. Like, hey, how do other people deal with hordes or issues in the journey, stuff like that. It's really nice. Very supportive community.
And it is also, I think, not totally free, but Microsoft pays.
Microsoft sponsors. Yeah. So I think it's about like $900 something now. So Microsoft actually sponsors half of the internship fee, and it runs about for 6-7 months. The course runs so. And every week and every few weeks you have a new module, so it's really comprehensive. But we'll share the link down in the chat, so for everyone who's interested in learning more about women rising community, you should definitely check that out. Yeah.
So I have another question about fish. Do you like fish?
Yeah.
Do you know where it is from or not?
Yeah, that's a nice one. Oh, actually, well, not a sad story, but it kind of says I'm no longer involved in the goldfish hobby. So unfortunately, I had to let the hobby go. So I no longer have a fish tank. What Femke is laughing is because I used to have being very enthusiastic into the goldfish hobby. So I kept goldfish. Aquariums and done it for like six-ish years, I think, 6 around. So but we've recently moved, or I've recently moved together with my partner, and in the new apartment we found that it's currently not working for me. So I changed hobbies, so now I'm into gardening. So now I have a vegetable garden and grow fruit and vegetable. So those are my new hobbies right now.
That's great.
Yeah.
Cool. Great hobbies. I really love it.
Yeah. So whenever the weather's right or not right, because it's in a greenhouse. Actually, it's a community that was set up in a greenhouse.
Wow. Because you lived in an apartment, right? You say you. Yeah. So
I don't have a garden, so it's a community garden. So I rent a plot in a community garden, and so I go down on my bike and enjoy the parts of the gardening. So that's really nice.
And do you have other? You don't have any fish anymore, but other things.
Other hobbies, no. I have a rabbit at home. She's also an old lady. She's got Momo because she has a very big white fluffy ear, so that's hence Momo. And no other hobbies actually entail just the basics, gaming and
gaming. What are you gaming?
I'm one of those people that likes to play alone, so I don't play co-op or online gaming. I'm just like to play my space simulations, so Elite Dangerous or No Man's Sky, Sims, Stardew Valley, building a farm.
Cool.
So it's just nice, simple.
Sims is always cool.
I only played Sims 1, and that actually what got me into computers, and then I didn't touch it for, I don't know, like 20 years. And then recently I was like, Sims 4. Only if I can download and customize the buildings, because I like to build, because architecture things. So I looked up the website where you can download everything. Turns out after 20 years, it's still very active. So I was like, whoa, all right, I'm going to reinstall this game and build some nice houses. So my boyfriend sitting next to me is always like, are you going to play the game? I'm like, I'm building this is playing. I mean, I don't playing world. I can just building is playing. Yeah.
Cool. Really nice. I love that. Yeah, I think we are ready because yeah, it's time to end this conversation. Kat, do you have something you wanna ask or you wanna say?
Sorry, that I heard you cutting in and out. Yeah, the delay is awful, and that you're cutting in and out. So I'm really sorry about that. I assume we're to the end of the show, all the questions. So
we didn't hear you.
No, the only thing I would say, if you don't say it already, if you haven't said it, because I've been in and out. Oh no, is it cutting out?
Yeah, it's cutting out. Yeah,
it's not working.
Yeah.
Okay,
it's fine.
I hear you now, but yeah.
It's fine. Just I think we wanna thank you thank Femke for being with us, and it's really nice to talk about teams governance, women in tech, a little bit Wortell, I think you already mentioned, and your hobbies like gaming and your gardening. It's fun. It was really nice to have you here, and
thank you so much for inviting me. Yeah.
Yes. And please follow Cloud Conversations on Twitter and YouTube. We are really pleased if you are following us. There we are. I think we need last thing. Femke, just one last thing. Maybe we need to say something in Dutch because we need to have a conversation a little bit Dutch in here. What are we gonna say to end this conversation?
Bedankt voor het luisteren en tot de volgende keer.
Doei doei.
Doei. Bye.